I dropped him off, and that's why I'm coming down the street. You thought that I don't live down here. You saw my ID. I'm from Chicago Heights.
On January 26th, in 2025, Homer Glen, Illinois. A late-night traffic stop turns tense when a driver denies drinking, but the officer smells alcohol and pushes for sobriety tests.
Where's home at?
Literally around the corner, so that stop sign, Bruce.
Okay. So where are you coming from?
I just dropped a friend off, but I live right on Soft.
Okay. What were you doing at your friend's house?
Chilling. We're
Chilling.
actually expecting Saturday.
Saturday? Okay. So when did you get to your friend's house?
A couple hours ago.
Okay.
A couple hours ago, but the timeline already sounds like it needs a lawyer.
And what time did you leave your friend's house?
What time is it? 11, so 9? What does that
Okay.
matter, though?
Okay.
But you said I was swerving. No, it wasn't.
Okay, so...
I was going speed living.
Okay, we're in your phone.
Look, so, boom.
Okay.
I always put that just to see when I'm getting there. I'm 2 minutes away. I'm right there.
Okay.
So, this is normal for me.
Okay.
His story sounds simple, but officers are trained to lock down timelines, and hers is already starting to shift.
Is where I'm going to.
I know, but where were you at?
I was out.
I know,
at
but
my friend's house.
where's your friend's house at?
In Joliet.
In Joliet?
That's where I'm driving from.
You're driving from Joliet?
Driving from Joliet, stopping in Homer Glen. That's a lot of miles for a 2-minute drive home.
Okay, where in
That doesn't
Joliet?
matter, though.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out the time of events to where you were coming from. Because you were coming, or I saw you at 355 and Galber. Okay, Joliet is south.
Absolutely. So I went from Joliet to Homer Glen, which is a friend's house.
Okay, so you went to Joliet, then you went to Homer Glen at a friend's
No.
house.
I was in Joliet, and I dropped a friend off in Homer Glen.
Okay.
And I went from 159th to come this way,
Okay,
and I'm going home right now.
okay.
What do you mean?
All right, do you have the insurance with the new company?
I'll pull it up there.
So your friend in Joliet, what time did you get to the Joliet address?
That you know damn well that
Okay.
doesn't. I'm just literally around the corner. That's why I was going home.
I get it.
So
I'm
that-
so
you
you
know
said
the
you left
time
your
that
you said you
it's
left
at.
your friend's house at 9 to drop off your friend in Homer Glen, correct?
I am.
Now the timeline doesn't add up, and under USDUI investigations, inconsistent statements are one of the first red flags officers look for.
Okay. So at your friend's house in Joliet, what did you have there? How much did you have to drink?
What do you mean? I didn't do anything. We were watching that fucking football game, and I'm going home 2 minutes away.
Okay, so how much did you have to drink in Joliet?
No, nothing.
0 drinks. Yet the officer is about to say otherwise. That's where DUI cases start turning.
Because I was earlier with my friend in Joliet, and I dropped him off in Homer Glen, and that's why I'm on this road. I'm right here. What do you
Okay.
mean?
So you had nothing to drink over in Joliet?
No, and that's why if you say that I'm swerving, it's maybe because I look down right quick, but I have this up right now because I'm going there.
Okay.
And if I go there right now, then she'll tell
Did
you.
you take any prescription medication in Joliet?
Nothing.
Okay, did you smoke any weed in Joliet?
I don't smoke weed. No.
Okay, so you don't smoke weed. Do you drink alcohol?
No, I don't do none of that shit.
So you didn't drink tonight?
I haven't done nothing. Whatever
Okay.
you want to do, you can do, but I'm telling
Would you
you right
willing
now.
to do field sobriety testing?
No, because it's unnecessary. But like what I'm telling you right now is that if you're telling me right now that I was swerving, I don't think so. I was not, because there was a car in front of me.
Okay.
And I didn't even know you were behind me, but either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm smelling the odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from your breath. You said it was Saturday, correct?
At this point, the officer has enough indicators to escalate. And legally, he can now begin building probable cause for a DUI stop.
Okay.
What'd I say?
Okay. Based on some of the things I saw,
What'd I
some of the things you
say?
said, I'm asking you to do field sobriety testing. Would you be willing to do this testing?
What did I say?
Okay.
I'm asking. I'm only asking because that doesn't make sense
You
to
said it
me.
was Saturday. I'm smelling an odor of alcoholic beverage coming from your breath.
It's Sunday, and I watched the football game, and
I
I dropped my
understand that.
guy off. You asked me why I'm on this road. I dropped my friend off. He goes in Homer Glen, and I'm right here on this road.
Okay.
And I'm 2 minutes away. What do you mean?
Like I said before, you have a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emanating from your breath.
How?
You were swerving on the roadway.
Swerving, speeding, open trunk. In U.S. law, that's stacking probable cause fast.
I have my...
Your trunk was
You
open
a-
when you were driving.
you asked me
You were
why.
speeding. Okay.
That means the person in front of me was speeding, dude.
Okay.
I'm
The
not-
person in front of you was not in front of you when I got you on radar. Okay. It's all on camera. Okay. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Would you be willing to do the field sobriety testing?
She keeps denying everything, but in U.S. law, refusal and contradictions can weigh just as heavily as an admission.
Oh, I'll do it right now. I don't care.
Do it right now. Okay. Take a break. All right. So now what you can do? Face me. You get permanent breath sample. You're gonna blow, and you're gonna take a sample like you're blowing out birthday candles. You understand?
I understand. I'm not blowing no.
You don't want to provide a sample?
No, I haven't even been drinking all night, and I've shown you that.
Okay.
Did the test tell you that?
Okay.
Drink
So
otherwise?
this is just something we request.
I know that, but I also studied this.
You studied
I
it?
caught myself. Like,
Okay.
I haven't shown you anything other than that. I haven't drank.
Okay. So
Saying you studied law during a DU, I stop. Usually not the flex people think it is.
what do you mean by you studied it?
That's what I went to school for.
Like law?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm telling you right now is that nothing that I gave you indicates that. And
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, I'm 2 minutes from my house,
Okay.
and I get it. I know what you guys are doing. It's cool.
Okay.
Who do you work for?
I get it.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you again. This is part of the field sobriety test. Would you like to provide a permanent
Part
breath
of
sample?
it. I understand that.
Okay.
But at the same time, nothing.
If you said you had nothing to drink,
nothing.
if you said you
has
had nothing to drink,
indicated.
Now she refuses the breath test. And in many states, that alone can trigger automatic penalties and strengthen the case against her.
okay. So you don't want to provide a sample.
And he asked me, he goes, what do I mean by that? And what I mean by that is, you know damn well that, like, I'm fine. If you want to follow me
Okay.
on that's fine. But,
So
like,
you have a strong odor of
doing?
alcoholic beverage coming from your breath. Okay. You're saying you didn't drink anything, but I could smell it. Okay. You were swerving. You drove
was
with your
not
trunk open.
swerving.
You drove with your trunk open.
if
Okay?
my trunk was open, that was an accident. It must have been open way before that. And
Okay.
even as soon as I saw it, I closed it. Like, what do you mean? That happens all the
Yeah,
time.
you were driving with it open. You were driving with it open.
That does not indicate anything. You know,
Actually, under U.S. DUI law, it indicates a lot more than she thinks.
like, that could have been an accident. People drive with their trunk open accidentally all the time.
You said you're a cop. Who do you work for?
What I'm trying to tell you guys right now is that he's saying my trunk is open.
Yes,
That could happen
Pulled up. Yeah, sure. It can,
all the
but it
time.
doesn't mean
Look
that you
in my
weren't
car.
driving.
You can go ahead and
This is-
search
okay.
every. I will give you permission to search my car.
Okay.
But right
Who
now,
do you work for?
I'm not even. Nope. What I'm telling you right now is, you said my trunk was open, right? That happens all the time. That's an accident.
What they got a what speed for, right?
All right. Who do you work
They
for?
say? They do. You're right about that. But what I'm telling you right now is the simple fact that my trunk was open. He said that. My trunk. That's an accident, dude.
Go on. All right.
But what I'm
So
telling you right now is, like, I passed. I know I passed it because I haven't done anything all day. I watched the Super Bowl. Not the Super Bowl. I watched football all day. The Super Bowl is whenever.
So if you were an officer, though, then wouldn't you know that it's not there? Those tests aren't pass or fail. You realize that, correct?
It's not pass or fail, but
Okay.
you do also understand that when you do those tests, you know when someone's really.
okay. So
You know
be
when
honest to
someone's
me
fucked
about
up.
how much you had to be.
At this moment, the officer no longer needs a confession. The totality of circumstances is enough to make the arrest.
I dropped them off, and that's why I'm coming down the street. You thought
Okay.
that I don't live down here. You saw my ID. I'm from Chicago Heights. I live right here on Broken Arrow,
Okay.
and I'm 2 minutes from there.
Okay.
Speeding, crazy, trunk open. That happens all the time. I'm just really
Yeah, it happens all
confused
the
why.
time. Okay. Sounds good. What I'm gonna do is face that officer right there. Face that officer right there. Put your hands on your back. You're being under arrest for driving while under the influence of alcohol.
She argued every detail, but it still ended with DUI charges, no insurance, improper lane use, and speeding. Turns out the only thing she didn't beat was the case.